Everyone has opinions on players.
Hey, that's pretty good.
But I think we can all agree that there are a couple top players that a lot of people just really aren't interested in this year. But what if all these people are wrong? And these are some solid fantasy assets that we want on our fantasy football team in 2023. So who are a few of those top players that the consensus has overlooked that we really need to pay attention to? Well, in today's show, I got 6 players that fit that description. However, one thing that I will not overlook is how disgusting it is to go to the beach and basically see some dude walking around looking like Cousin It. I get it. We all didn't get a chance to determine what kind of body hair we had. But we do have a decision whether or not we want to take care of it. Whether it's a trimmer for your nose, your ears, your beard, your nether regions, Manscaped has you covered. So when this video is over, be sure to head over to manscaped.com and find yourself something to tidy yourself up this summer, fellas, and make sure you use code word headliners at checkout, because when you do, you're going to get 20% off and free shipping. But now, let's talk about a few of these players that are currently being a little bit overlooked, and let's start at the quarterback position. What about Aaron Rodgers of the Jets now? And I don't know about you, but it's still weird to say Aaron Rodgers and the Jets, but I get it, right? Recency bias. A lot of people think that Aaron Rodgers is just wash, and they hate him off the field, and that just carries on the field. And he's coming off his worst statistical season, in which he's played at least 15 games since 2007. 3,695 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions just last year. Finished as the quarterback 13 in fantasy football. Also the first time he's had double-digit interceptions in the last 12 years. It was also the first season he's failed to rush for at least 100 yards since 2007 as well. But now we think he's going to go to the Jets, who have a better offensive line, more pass-catching weapons than they had in Green Bay, and he's going to get worse? I mean, right now the consensus has him ranked as the quarterback 15 overall. Now, we know he hasn't been happy in Green Bay for years. Green Bay very rarely did anything to help him out on the offensive side of the football. We know that relationship was fractured. Now he gets to start over in New York, and I don't care what anyone says. When a player has a negative mindset, it's going to affect their play on the field. That's what we've seen in Green Bay. When a player is happier, they play better, and right now, Aaron Rodgers is happier. He's out there signing pregnant bellies, singing Taylor Swift songs, going out and working out and getting jacked. It's like he's been divorced and he's trying to get back into better shape and hit the dating scene all over again. But now he gets an offense with Garrett Wilson, Allen Lazard, Mecole Hardman, Corey Davis, Randall Cobb, Breece Hall, Tyler Conklin, and you gotta think that he goes out this season and really does his best to start the Aaron Rodgers says F you tour. That's what's going on this year because so many people have written him off. What if he isn't washed and he's once again a top fantasy quarterback in a pretty good situation? Aaron Rodgers, somebody to pay attention to. How about a running back in Joe Mixon, currently running back 15, and he may be one of the most hated running backs in all of fantasy football. Even though this guy just finished last season as the running back 12, gained 1,255 total yards and 9 touchdowns, all while finishing top 10 at the position in targets, red zone touches, receiving yards, and receptions. And then we come out this offseason and all these insiders say that he's a candidate to be cut. And then we also see him drastically drop down the rankings by the consensus. Now, yes, with the restructured contract, he's slowly starting to climb back up the rankings again. But that sour taste that so many people have from owning Mixon over the past couple years doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Now, is he efficient? No, not overly efficient, but neither is Cam Akers. And I see so many people out there pushing Cam Akers in 2023 fantasy football as an asset. And that is crazy to me. There's no more Samaje Perine in Cincinnati. He's gone. He's in Denver. He has the faith of his organization because they didn't go out and draft somebody early and they didn't cut him. He's on one of the best offenses in the NFL behind an improved offensive line. What if all the nonsense that people hold against Joe Mixon is just that? Nonsense. And once again, he's a top 12 running back that you're getting at a discount this year. Another discount? What about Miles Sanders, So the obvious here is he's going from one of the best offenses in all the NFL, one of the best offensive lines in the NFL in Philadelphia, to Carolina. And I agree, that is not ideal. That is a step backwards for sure. But on the other hand now, he's on a team that A, wanted him, and B, is going to put him in a position to have the overwhelming majority of touches in the backfield. In Philly, he was always splitting work with Boston Scott or Kenneth Gainwell. Even his quarterback, Jalen Hurts, was stealing a ton of touchdowns from him throughout the season. So maybe what he loses in efficiency from Philadelphia, he gains with volume in Carolina. He was the running back 13 overall last year, and one of only 14 running backs to score over 200 plus points in half PPR scoring. 1,347 total yards and 11 touchdowns last year is great. And honestly, I can kind of see something similar this year in Carolina. We just saw D'Onta Foreman last year be a thing at time behind this offensive line, and Miles Sanders is way better than he is. Plus, the overall offense in Carolina is a little bit better. It's going to give him more scoring opportunities. He's capable of playing all three downs, and obviously we would love to see him get more passing work than what he got in Philadelphia. What if everyone is discounting this new look Panther team too much and Frank Wright can right the ship a lot faster than many expect? Miles Sanders could be a 300 touch guy that could end up on your roster as your running back 3 in 2023, a huge discount. How about a wide receiver now? Mike Evans. Currently wide receiver 32 overall, and everyone is looking at the departure of Tom Brady and basically writing off Mike Evans and Chris Godwin for that matter. I chose Evans here because he's ranked even lower than Godwin, but Evans has produced 1,000-yard seasons with below average quarterbacks before. If you go back in time, he's had guys like Josh McCown, Mike Glennon, a blind pre-LASIK Jameis Winston, Ryan Fitzmagic. Now sure, having Baker Mayfield or Kyle Trask isn't amazing right now, but are they really that much worse than some of the names that I just read off? I mean, Baker last year didn't look half bad at times when he was in LA, and we know that he likes to go full gunslinger mode, and that could really open up the deep ball at times to Mike Evans. Now, last year, it really looked like a down year for Mike Evans. It took a huge game, last game of the season, for him to get his 1,000 yards, but he still finishes the wide receiver 16 overall. So should he drop a little bit this year without Tom Brady? Sure, of course. But wide receiver 32? Good Lord. Wide receiver 32 last year was Allen Lazard. Evans is a lot better than that, in my opinion. What if the departure of Tom Brady is just dropping Mike Evans too low in people's rankings? You have to think that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers also want to see this streak of 1,000-yard seasons continue as well. He can be your wide receiver 3 on your team this year, currently ranked at wide receiver 32. What if a lot of people are wrong and they have him ranked way too low? But what about another wide receiver, Deontay Johnson, currently wide receiver 31 in the consensus rankings? Talk about some bad luck for Deontay Johnson in 2022. Dude had 147 targets, 86 catches, no damn touchdowns. He couldn't even fall in the end zone on accident last year. And because of that, he had his worst statistical season since his rookie year in 2019. But he also had to deal with some quarterback issues, right? Mitchie Biscuits wasn't doing him any favors to start the year. Then he went to rookie quarterback Kenny Pickett, who was an absolute turnover machine when he first got the job. But the silver lining here is his volume. He hasn't had less than 144 targets in a year now for 3 straight years. He's averaged 6 touchdowns a season up until last year. Heck, had he had those same 6 touchdowns last year, he would have been a top 20 wide receiver once again in fantasy football. Now, Kenny Pickett looked a lot better second half of the season, and we're looking forward to him taking another step forward this year. The offense added Allen Robinson. They have George Pickens in his second year now as well. But what if the volume is enough just to keep him in that top 20 range? What if too many people are discounting Deontay Johnson too much? Now, he's not some league winner, but a solid wide receiver on your fantasy team? Yeah, I think he still is. But I also want to end it with a tight end, the football kind, of course, because we're classy around here, and he may not be a big name anymore, but Mike Gasecki of now the New England Patriots. He's currently tight end 19 overall, and I don't really think people understand how good Mike Gasecki could be in an offense that actually needs to utilize a tight end consistently. He is a 6'6" tight end who's athletic, can run routes, and can go up and get those contested 50-50 balls. Now he just got paid by New England, and no, it's not for his run blocking. Hunter Henry is a little bit better in that area than Mike Gasecki. This is an offense that needs weapons. They missed out on DeAndre Hopkins, who went to Tennessee. So now you got Devontae Parker, Juju Smith-Schuster, Kendrick Bourne. They need playmakers by the bunches in New England if they want to try to compete in a division full of high-powered offenses. But what I really want to focus on is the new offensive coordinator there in Bill O'Brien, who is now back in New England and back as the offensive coordinator. If you remember, he was the OC there back in 2011. That's the year that the Patriots went 13-3 and lost in the Super Bowl to the Giants. That was also the year that two tight ends on that team absolutely crushed it. That's the year that Rob Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez combined for 169 receptions, 2,237 yards, and 24 touchdowns. Now, no, Mac Jones isn't Tom Brady and Gasecki isn't Gronk. But the writing is on the wall for Mike Gasecki to now be a huge factor in this offense, being that they missed out on DeAndre Hopkins. What if people are overlooking this Patriots offense too much? What if they've kind of looked at the tight end position over the last few years and really written it off in New England? What if they bring back a lot of two tight end sets once again in New England this year? Just due to lack of options, Mike Gasecki at tight end 19 could be a huge discount. But I still want to see who's paying attention out there. If you've made it this far in the video, leave the hashtag #WhatIf down below in the comment section. Once this video reaches 750 likes, I'm going to pick a random person who leaves that hashtag below for a free fantasy football draft guide here for 2023, so you can dominate your fantasy football leagues this year. But I also want to know what you think about a couple of the guys in this video. Now, by no means am I saying these guys are must-have players here in 2023. However, what if the consensus is wrong? These guys are ranked too low and we can get them at a huge discount in 2023. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Hit the like button, leave a comment down below, and then also subscribe if you haven't. Why haven't you subscribed yet? We're going to absolutely kill it in fantasy football this year. We're going to kill it in pick'ems on Underdog this year. We're going to have all kinds of fun and we want you to be a part of it with us. So hit that subscribe button now if you're not already subscribed. I'm going to get out of here for the day though. Hopefully you have a great rest of your day and then do your part to make the world a better place.